Okay, we're going to be beginning a little bit soon. Just give me 1 minute. Good morning, Miss Watkins. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I have two things to do, and then I'm going to begin. If you have any requests, we'll see what we can work on. I know you can't see my face right now. Just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to move some things into place. I forgot I had started it. I got to put away some stuff. Just give me 1 minute. I got things in front of me. Never sure where to start. Just give me 1 minute. You know what's funny? Not everybody. Whoop! I almost put it in the fridge without a cover on it. And my toast is in the kitchen, so give it 2 more minutes. I have to go to my toast in the kitchen. I have to go to the washroom. Okay, toast is still in the kitchen. Give me a second. I'm just having a dry piece of toast. One more minute. It's beautiful outside. There's the street full of snow. So you can see what it looks like out here. And that's the screen. Can you see the screen? That's basically like where we live. See the way the screen seems to break up the sky, or is that really what the sky looks like? I'm not even sure where to start. I really don't even know where to start. I wrote down a bunch of things, but when I was in the realm, I have to finish the toast. Okay. Number one, there are many things I still must learn in order to put the theory of everything together. And that's about the zodiac, understanding what they mean when they say the sun is in Pisces, the sun is in Virgo, Venus in Aquarius. And even when they use the word in, if we live in in a sort of matrix. Now, what does it mean, matrix? If you look at the words as everything that's going on as part of a system, we have 24 hours in a day. Why 24? Numbers that change and numbers that don't change. For instance, we have to understand the equations, how everything is put together. So we can say 724. Now, can we say 324, 224, 124, 524, 624? Of course, you can say it, but does it fit anywhere in a pattern? Well, we have 24 hours a day, 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week. 7 is the whole package. We have the whole 7 days. Can we connect day 1 with day 7, saying it's day 8? No, we can't. But we can say what happens between all these days. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day is an association. And the only time you can really make the association is A, before it happens, we can talk about, look, we have the 7 days. But the only time you can get the full average of those 7 days is after the 7 days are finished. So without the 8th day, we can't really associate to the first 7 days, because when the first 7 days end, we're in the 8th day. And before the first 7 days begin, we were in the day before. So the day before and the day after, A and I, and everything we live before and after is in between AI. Is that where the artificial intelligence is? So if everything is in between AI, the first one would be B, and the last one would be H. And B and H, or T and H, or 28 is man. The word man is, the numeric value is 28. It's not only 28, but it's also 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1. In gematria, man is 1, 1, 1. In Chaldean, man is 4, 1, 5. In the sun, the spirit in the sun. Where do I get my information? And usually, mostly everybody that is online right now, the information comes from one of these, mixed up with one of these for a better understanding, and for a broader understanding, one of these. And you can find this on the ATM. We can also add in where the alphabet comes out, starting on B. Now, if I was to invert the alphabet and not put A with H, in which A is with H, understanding this, because there's 8 around 1. So A is an H. B, okay, B is going to be with 7, and Y is 7. So both Y and Z coming in with A and B, and you add Y and Z together, the 25th and 26th letter, and what do you get? You get 51. And the numeric value for Mars is 51. Ironically, that the vibration of this planet, okay, the 20th day, 240, well, that fits absolutely perfect. 555, 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. I have to just let me finish with this one piece now that I lost myself. The 7 days a week, oh, I lost myself already. I'll finish with that, and I'll go back and check it on the other channel. So yeah, 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. They also use it somewhere in memory, 512. 51 is Mars, and 52 is Earth. 25 is the jack plug. It's also to the gateway. 12 as creation, because base creation is 1 in between 2. And now at ABC, we can create 5. ABC, Michael Jackson 5 is in year 125. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 3 and 2 are 2 and 3. 32 is the word Mar, and we add Mar into marriage. We add Mar into Mars. We add Mar into Tuesday, the 3rd day of the week. The 3rd day of the week. Now, I want to ask you a question. Did the Lord prepare on Sunday to work on Monday, although working every single day of the week? Because then Tuesday would be the 2nd day of the week, but it would be the third day of the master week of 7 days. Tuesday, the day of the chosen. Wednesday, Mars Day. And in French, okay, they say Wednesday as mercredi. And when you say mercredi, I look at it as matter, energy, credit. Now I have to understand this credit bit. We have to understand banking also, and how the words actually work in the connecting systems, like the word bank. The B looks like a 13, and it's the ank. The actually, I think it's like that, right? The ank goes up like that, and there's a cross on it. Now the question is it a crisscross, or is it two anks that go up together? They spin around the same thing. They go like this and then come back to the bottom. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking how the ank was switched. So yeah, I was talking about how Mars ends up to be the opposite side of the alphabet. Now, when you start the telephone over, we flip the alphabet over and we start ABC by the 2 position. The same way we don't end the alphabet in the 9 position. So I'm a little trying to understand how the letters still fit in with the telephone, because on the ATM, right, they put Q and Z on number 1, because number 1 in its own is actually representing everything that surrounds it. It is within. So if I take out this, right, see the way this works? This would be your Mars, right? And then outside here would be your Earth. This would be your singular moon. And then outside here would be your 2 moons. One's a stable moon to keep your position for the other moon. So it's almost like one moon is surrounding, gathering information, bringing it to the main source moon. So I'm still trying to understand that as well. And then there's the artwork, right? So should I finish the alphabet? I'm just a little bit all over the place. And then there's the artwork. I'm just jumping a little bit all over the place, and trying to understand a little bit also that there's angles in here, right? And you're not, that's the widest it goes. I don't know why, but there's a reason for it. And if I knew the reason, I wouldn't, actually, I don't need to know the reason. I need to know the angle so I can tell you where else we can find this. Different angles. Now the question is, it's not a 45-degree angle, therefore it's in between a cell. In order to get this one, it's in between a cell 0.333. 0.25, 0.333, there really is no other. This is directly in between the halfway of the 1/4, which means it's halfway in between the 45-degree and the 0 mark, or the 45-degree and the 90 mark, equaling to can I just calculate this for a second? 45, 666, and 90. So this would be 21.6, and this would be 23.4. Let me calculate this with you. Between 45 and the 90, right? Let's go right here. That would be 21.6, and this one would be 23.4, right? And what's ironic about this is that if I would line it up over here, we would end up over here. I would be lined up right over here. And this to 666, which is apparently 432, lining up our vibration in the minus house. This is the house of M&M, Mercury and Mars, minus, minus. This would be plus, plus. This would be minus, plus, and minus, plus. This would be 16 and 16, or PP or KK, which is 11, 11 over here. So the 11, 11 is inverted to the 13, 13. And for me, it all works out because of that. and that. This shows me 9 areas. This shows me 9 areas. So if I show you one area, we're going to have 8 areas around it. One dot, let's put the dot there, and we have 8 areas around it. So when I flip it over, right, and we run in cycles of 3, NASA, the running cycles of 3, I flip it over, I flip the dice over, I have 3. So I'm going to have 1 with 8, and I'm going to have 6 and 3. So we have 11. But if I flip it this way, I have a 2. And I flip it over one more time, and I have a 5. And the area space that's void inside of here is the 4 area void. And I flip it over again, 1, 2, and I have the 7 area void. And in this 7 area void is area 51 right here, the center area dot, right? And if I was to design that, okay, right here, I'm going to make 2 like this. I'm going to make 2 like that, right? The other one is going to look like that. It's almost like a house fits in, right? Like the window, but we're going to make it exactly the same. And we have empty space now. We now gathered ourselves some empty space. We have an empty space here, an empty space here if we square it off, and an empty space here. These 3 spaces are empty. Now, since they're empty, we're just going to close them. So we close them just like so, and now we have our hexagon. So now we have the hexagon, and we have the empty space for passing through, the voided space, the donut hole. So in this area over here that we reverted to 432 hertz, that brought into this area over here is the beginning of one end and the other end of this area space occupied that we can possibly, wherever it is that maybe we're living in this one single area space, which means there's another area space here and another area space here. Don't mind the art. Also to note that 216 or 2160 is the diameter, okay, of our moon. And this can also be denoted, okay, as 201 or 210 or 120. It doesn't matter. The reason for this is because the 6, okay, the 6 gets a 0 value, and the 0 gets a 6 value, for the reason that we might, how can I explain that? When you look at this dice cube, right? If you look at every single side, there's a pattern that's in here. And the pattern is there are never, okay, 2 areas, 2 and 2 areas that are never used except for in the 6. And it's these 2 in the center over here. They're not used on any other side, which means, okay, that if we were not to use those 2 on 6 of the sides, we would take away 10 of 12. Now we're talking about Deca 10, right? In the Deca for December, right? But Deca meaning 10, not using 10 of 12 areas in this cube, if you can follow me with that. So this is the diameter of the moon, and I always revert to anytime we have this, it's always going to be this. There is no 0. 0 doesn't exist. If you flip it over, it's 6. We don't have, you can't be in 2 places at once. You're either here or you're here. You are either you're asleep or you're awake. If you're not awake, you're asleep. And if you're not asleep, you're awake. Should I leave that? Let me take that back to the beginning. Now, for the last one that we're in here, and I'm going to get back to this, is 3 and the 180 degrees to the 4. In fact, they're all 180 degrees. They're all the difference of Reich, the Third Reich, because they're all 180 degrees away. Every other number with number 1 is not. 1 over to 3, 1 over to 4, 5, and 6 is 180 degrees. 2 over to let me see if I get this right. I just want to see if I get this right. 2 over to 5 is 180 degrees. 1 over to 4, 5, and 6 is wrong also. I have to re-explain this. Let me not, there's a reason for this and a reason not for this. So I don't want to confuse this. Let me not do it this way. 1 over to 6, 2 over to 5, 3 over to 4. They are all 180 degrees. Now, if I was working this with Celsius, I would get one answer. And if I'd be working this with Fahrenheit, inverted to Celsius, the matrix, the metric system, the conversion system. So there's 3 areas where we have to turn this cube 180 degrees to get to the other side. So in this conversion over here, we're also going to look at 3 is going to have 3 and 3 open. But here, the question is, are these 3 empty spaces as to these 2 empty spaces? Is this a plug-in? Like I take this cube and I plug in 3 areas. I plug them in. I plug the 3 areas in. We plug them in like in bowling with the 3 fingers. We just plug them in. Right? Can we put those 2 fingers there and the other finger there in bowling and it fits in the bowling ball? So we fit this and then we get this. These are the voided areas, 6, 5, 11, 4, 7, 11, 3, 7, 11. Let me move over the 432 hertz. So let me just finish with this piece over here. So now what we have is we have the 216, the 234, and the 225. Now, I don't know what each and every one, but it's the 225 that is divided to one side and then divided to the other side, giving that 18-degree difference between what is 666 and what I see as the 90 birth, or what is 4 times 20 plus 10. I don't always catch on to everything that's going on, and I know nobody likes me to say that. Sometimes I can't pick up the realm of the exactitude. But in French, okay, this is 80. And with its N, it's with its N equaling to what is 90, also known as January. So maybe we can understand January a little bit different. And also January connects to February, the first 2 months. And what's ironic about February is that the numeric value for February, okay, let's see if we can get this here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull this out. I try to go fast, you know. Hold on. Where is it? Okay. Is it over here? No, it's over here. Okay. Did we get that value? Yes. There it is. 96. Jesus. Whoop. Hold on a second. I don't know where I keep getting some of this stuff in here. Where is it? Oh, yeah, here. February 96. See, January is going to be 90. We're going to go January. Did we get that? Yeah, January. So we get January at 90. And we get February at 96. They're both the Aries months, right? So can we look at this as Aries? We add on the ARY, Anu, the ring. So we, used up this area here. At the same time, I am going to add this in to every single area. And this, although these are the 45, this is not the 45 degrees I'm adding in. I'd like to add in the 33 degrees, and then the 33 degrees, and the 33 degrees, and the 33 degrees, all the way around. So in each and every one of these, we have the 33 degrees, so we can understand how the house is broken up into threes. And I'm going to try and see if I can explain this. I believe, and through 18 years of work, that we're only getting a skeleton of everything. We're only getting part formation. Although you might see the octagon, you're never going to work the octagon. There's an area space you live, and there's a voided area space. Let's say you go out and you do a shop, right? You have an area space in your fridge. Unless you have the voided area space in your fridge to put something in to occupy or to replace the area space already occupied, but it's occupied by the aether or the energy that's in the fridge, and things rot. Why do things rot? They say, oh, the air got to it. That means the air is a substance. So the substance is occupying an area space. Now, is that substance a matter or energy? The letter M and the letter E, they fit together. The male and the female, matter and energy, somehow they fit together, even in numbers. When you get to just energy as a single number, I'm going to try and think that, is it possible that Mars or Mercury gets that singular number and Earth gets all numbers that have two numbers in it? For the reason that Mars, the numeric value is 51, meaning 5, meaning V half between two sides. And also Earth is 52, so it's also a V in Roman numerals. I can use it as an L, like when you were talking about, like was mentioned yesterday, Elohim, which actually the end of the word can be I am the heavens, because H can represent the heavens, and the heavens says sleep, H, when the I says awake. The ninth and the eighth letter, the ninth is also birth. The H in French is silent. The H also noted to be 888 in the regular alphabet that I was brought up with, where H is 8 and Q is 8 and Z is the 26th letter. 2 and 6 is 8, and it says headquarters. So now I'm saying, hey, the heavens of headquarters. It's heavens, and H is asleep. It's a line across from the two sides. So now we're talking about Earth. But 2, okay, it's confusing because Earth says 2, Mars says 1. The 2 becomes a line. The 1 becomes a dot. So the 1 becomes a dot. So then it becomes a window, because we can't have a line and a window. We can have Earth breaking up the window with lines. See, I call Earth the line, and the reason for that is because Earth has to be broken up with 2. Let me make it a little bit easier. This is my understanding, that Mars gets a singular line for 1. Earth gets 2 lines. Now, my question is it the 2 lines that are on the outside? Remember, it gets a little confusing when you try to broaden it out, right? So I would end up with that, right? I would end up with that. So now the question is, are we being guided by Mars? But Mars has 2 moons, and Earth has 1 moon. So what house are we living in? Is it Earth or Mars? I see Earth, 33, just like Jesus. And I see Mars, 22, just like Ape. The 33 is to the 33 voided spaces that when we counted before, 6 and 5, 11, 4 and 7, 11, 3 and 8, 11. And everything can be seen. Everything I talk about exists somewhere, and the math is inside of it. If you ask me which way to go with this math, Hertz sounds like Hertz. Yes, absolutely. Inside when the S comes to the end other than the Z, the S looks like a 5, but the Z looks like a 2. Very funny, and they have the same sound. Ah, yes, the Y flux capacitor, 1988. 88, oh my God, 84, 88. It doesn't matter what number it is. They all talk about something. And the end result of all creation is between 80 and 90. And between 80 and 90, they're reflecting exactly how they would be reflecting between 1 and 99. Because 80, you're going to say 81. Okay, 81, 81st. And you're going to say 91st. But in French, okay, it's not said the same thing. It's saying 81. They do not use the ET to connect the 80 to the 8 to the 1. In the whole alphabet, in the whole number system, they use ET. Let's not count 1 up to 20. Let's leave that on the side because that's a base creation which has been recreated between 80 and 99, in which is also noted as the year 2030. Because when you say 80, you're saying 420s. When you're saying 90, you're saying 420s and 10. So it's 2030. 20 and 10 equals to 30. Now, why would I say 2030? Well, it only adds up to 30 because the T, when you say counting down, let's say they go in NASA, they're counting down, they always go T minus. And that T happens to be in gematria, number 7. And in the regular alphabet, it is the 20th letter, also noted as the second letter, which is only one part of the created heavens, which is 8. 2, 2, 2, and then the mirror. 6, and then the mirror. 2, 2, 2, and then the mirror. 8. 3, 3, 3, and then the mirror. 3. 4, 4, 4, and then the mirror. 7. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12, creating 3. And then when you turn into the mirror, 1 more 4, it creates 7. 3 and 4, DC, DC. It's all about DC, the house planets. Number 68, DC, DC, 68. DC, 43, hot. DC, red. You want CD? Now you're looking at compact disc over direct current, if you want to look at it that way. You want to look at 34 the same as 43 sometimes or all the time, or let's look at all the situations. JW, and that's ironic because when you say JW, right away, I keep losing this mathematical equation because 17 and 10 come together. And when 17 come together, the void is 7. And the calculation for that is 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, what creates the 10 and 7. And it's a gateway, but this gateway, it seems like, is in the mirror world through the birth of creation. And that's why the word Jack, Jane, John Doe, John, also sometimes people can misunderstand it as being spelled as win or first, because John, and to go to the John, everybody's buying the toilet paper, and John as O-N-E, even though it's not spelled that way, you have to understand that we're children of the creation. We refabricated our language. Q17. Q is also 1 in Chaldean. Chaldean only counts to 8. So it seems like Chaldean is direct in the cube, never talks about 9. When we talk about the 9 numbers, we end up talking about our mirror. What is inside a 10? 1 and 9, 10, 3 and 7, 10, 4 and 6, 10, 8 and 2, 10. That's our 40 blue world all around 5. 45, the passage in the sun. 236, 214, 478, 896, 4578, 5689, 5623, 1245. Those are those combinations. Mars, 4 times Mars into 1 times Earth. 33 and 22 inside a 9. And then we got 6 sides to this one. Quin, bringing together the in Quin, okay, is bringing in actually 1111 in tin, in tin. The reason for that is IN is 9 and 14. And what's ironic that I believe in numbers is that anytime you pass a certain number, I'm not even sure which number to use. It's always different. In Hebrew, they tell you a different story. So in pool, they tell you a different story. In pool, it only goes to 7. So if I'm going to count in pool and I want to count up to 15, I can't. The only way for me to count to 15 is I have to use this first 7 and the second 7, and then use the 8 ball to include it. So it's 7, 1, 7. If I want to go to 16, now I'm going to have to start with the major 1 ball, the spirit ball. That is the only ball that's allowed to start the connection of the energy. Okay, and that is the cue ball that comes off of the cue stick, played on a pool table that has 6 areas on a rectangular board and not 6 areas on a dice cube, because the 6 areas on the rectangular board means that we can probably change the holes or add more holes on in what's it called to the board. And also, if we were to design the alphabet just using the holes on the board, there's certain letters in the alphabet that we could not design. There's certain ones that we could design. Also connecting the holes, we can see the angles between the first hole and the middle holes and the first hole and the end hole. We can understand the angles of play. It is 17 is a gate of some sort of a gate, and 17 is a very short mathematical equation that comes back to 17, and it can be created by a 99, 25. I'm just trying to think about the ways to get there. Which there's oh yes, and 88. 88 and 99 can both create 17 very simply. That in 99, the mathematics will give you this, right? If we take one of them and multiply it and add it, we end up with 8 and 9. 8 and 9 equals to 17. This is full formation, by the way. This creates full formation, right? First of all, inside of here, you have 18 right over here. Then you create your gateway, which is now your 1 and your 6. And with your 2 brings in the 7. Your 1 brings in the 8, and your 2 brings in the 7 to the gateway, your high birth, your high Q, into the bill gate. Can it be the doll bill gate? I don't know. 19, spirit, wing. Okay, let me just slow down. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 plus 5 is 0, 7. 0, 7, and 10 equals to 17. And here we have 17 again, 8 and 9. So this fits in between this. And ironically, that 10J and 07G, okay, which are in 2 different places, is 1 and 7, correct? Secondly, the 88 equals to 16 equals to 64. Where do we get 17 if the total is 80? 6 and 4 is 10. 1 plus 6. 6 and 4 is 10. 1 plus 0. 6 and 1 is 17. It doesn't matter how the numbers come together. They are what they are. I don't care which road you drove around to come to that number. I just want to I'm just trying to see where I am with this next piece. Yes, Bill Gates, okay, where gate starts with, that's right, 17. And when A and T come together, you're actually doing this. And you're also looking at this. The reverse alphabet, okay, is this. But in reality, your reverse alphabet is this. And we just went through 2022. Now, if we put it into the letters, we just went through this. Our reverse alphabet last year spelled TV. It was 42. It was a gateway. It was a gateway where? To G5, which is moon, electric, DC, which is, you say that's dark current. And the reason for that is because when 75 comes together, we can be talking about 75%. And 75% is also equivalent to 45. And the reason for that is because of this. ABC counted as a cell equals to 6 or 60. When you add D equaling to 4, you can also be adding to 40. And now you have 100% of time in the mirror worlds because you're running time over time inside the cube, 21. And when you run time over time, 1.5 times 4 equals to your 6. And when you played a game of blackjack, you get paid 1.5 times your bet, or 3 to 2. And now you're going to talk about Mar and Mars. Seemingly that this is only 1/4 or partial of the 60 seconds of time. 25 or 1/4, or what is 52, is now Earth, the word Jack, to where you come to your gateway. Gate is 25 and 8 equaling to 33 for gate. And inside the word bill is 35. And you get, did I get that right? And you get 68. 3/4 of what is the heaven's light. That's the way I like to look at it. 33 in the creation of the Christ. 33 is the numeric value for mass. And in that rotation, I don't know where I missed it, that 33 is also 6 and 9. The multiplication and the addition equals to 69, bringing in the numeric value 54, and 15, representing 1/4 of Mars. Earth is that value. 54 equaling to the sun, equaling to love. Now we have to understand what love means. Is it the ring and the pole? I don't know. And then the artwork that can possibly go around with it is, if you look at 9, let me finish the formation, if you like. And we can look at also number 6. We can look at number 6. And there's number 6 and there's number 9. So if I finish off this 6 in the same formation, so we now have 6 and 9. And we can use the wings, right? We can use the wings. And now we have the going this way or this way. Or you can see the way that form's going in this way. So that'll be going in this way, and that'll be going in this way. And that would show up how your 8 connects your 6 and 9. And this division here, right? If you take a good look, this angle, right? Number 7 here and number 7 here. So what does that actually do? Is it a new design that we now have the 7 here, and then we cap it with a C, which is number 3, and the same thing is going to happen on that calculator, wherever it is. Calculator, 3 opposite of 7. This calculator is actually, for me, it's a story. There's a story inside of this calculator. We'll get to it later. Even in the colors, it tells me there's a difference. This division tells me about the division between the Democrats and the Republicans, between demolition and repossession. The reason for that is because it takes two colors to create this. It's both red and blue. Red 27, the house of Bet Gate. And number, where I just took my, oh yes, and blue, which is 40. Those two will create purple. Purple is number 88. 88. Love in 88. How can we create 88? We'll just take one heart, right? Or a jack, and then we'll take another heart. See the other side of the heart? And now we got two hearts, and now we just put the hearts over each other. And we got 808. So in the bicycle cards, when you see the king, if you get the joker in the bicycle cards, it'll say rest in peace, 808. And to note that, okay, we're going to leave that at that. Just give me 1 second. I have to breathe. I'm going to go get something to drink in the kitchen. I'm going to take 1 minute break. I hope I don't lose myself, because this just keeps branching out, because it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know if someone's going to be bored with what I say. I don't know. What I started is because I couldn't write anything down. I knew nobody would see it. And I knew that I couldn't look through all the books. I just couldn't do it. But I knew if enough people believed and wanted to get on board and we put this together in a program, we can do it together, because to go back into a book and show somebody one page at a time, it wouldn't work. Now it's online. Everybody's got the ability to check it out themselves. And yes, 708, 7008 also. Okay, 7008 or 7006 is, it's just funny the way that comes out, what I see inside of it. Not only is it that 1 times 6, 1 plus 6, 7 and 6. The 00 creates an 8. The 8 and 6, okay, are divided. So by showing 2 zeros divided, it also tells me that there's 2 divided houses of 6, but they're connected by 8. And there's artwork that goes along for this. And it's not me that does any of this. I'm only telling you the stories that were mathematically given to me through information that I gathered. And all the information I have is online. It's professional games around the world. You can find it in the dictionary. All the professional people, I'm using professional because everything has been documented. And if you want to find 6, then we're also going to find electric company. Electric company, EC, 11, 12 coming together. To connect this to the one spirit of the heavens, you add 7 onto 3 and 5 onto 5. Why do I say the one spirit of the heavens? Because 7 and 3 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, 5 and 5 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, and the only place to find the 1 is in the center of the 8 that surround it. The actuality is the reality found through the information we were given. So did they lie to us? Because we play and there's rules and regulations. So when you go down to the casino and you want to play on number 9, you have to know that the 9, you have to know that that the 9 is on the reverse side of the king. So in creation of the light, we also have the division of the light. 9 is opposite of 4. And when you go to the casino, they'll pay you 9 to 5 on the 9. No, they'll pay you, I think it's 7 to 5 or 9 to 5. No, not 9 to 5. I think it's 7 to 5 on the 9, or is it 8 to 5? I'd have to look that up. But that payout is also giving you that information. 4-7, energy, John, Jesus, time. Okay, and inside the cycle to John. Just 1 second. Okay, it's my son, so just give me a second. What's up? 3:30 is fine. At Cerber? Okay. Okay. Should I bring the back, Evan? I'm bringing it anyways. Okay. Okay, I'll see you there. What time is it? 2:45, 3:30? Okay, bye. So it's a good day because my son called me back and I get to see him. Yay! What's this world all about? 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. So in that, even in that phrase, what a way to make a living, all the words inside of it, first of all, the W and H come together, which is part of what the cube is. And there's so many things going on now, so many pieces of art. First of all, there's one piece of art that I said I was going to design. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to forget. But I just want to go with, I write in capital letters because I can see them better. First of all, for myself and the alphabet, the W is right next to V. VW, Volkswagen. And in Chaldean, in this world, they bring all three of them together. U, W, and V. In French, they say the V as the W as double U. V, U, 666 in Chaldean. Notice that the one gets 5 letters, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 2. What a way to make a living. Just the W as the 23rd letter is the last letter before the inversion. And the reason there's an inversion on W is because when you get to X, and that's another thing I didn't talk about. There's another thing with X. Anytime you see the letter EX, that comes together. So let's put that on the side for now. The X and the W are polarities according to this. But I also have to reset my mind a little bit and back up with some things I've said in the past. Because very often I've said in the past, Z is the end of the alphabet, but it's not number 9. It's number 8. So how can I start A as number 9 when it's not? But it has to be because there's 9 areas here. What area is that? 1 or 9. That's what it's going to be. So that's one of the reasons I speak about it. So it depends where I am in the explanation and in what context it gets spoken about. I'm the head of the household until I show up at my dad's. Where am I? Oh, yes. So what it is that the invert alphabet to W and X is right here. 4 and 23. W is the 23rd letter, equals 27. And 3 and 24. X and W. So they invert each other. And inside of here, we have the 6 void and the 5 void. 5 and 6, 11 towards 7. In fact, we have in all of our 7s, we have that. And when I hold the dice up like this, it's going to tell me a story that's, first of all, it's going to tell me the same story on the other side. It's going to tell me this story here, which is 7, and then this story here, which is 7, and then this story here, which is 7, and that story there, which is 7. So that if I turn the dice just one time, we're going to tell the same story here. So in this way, holding the dice this way, right, every side, is 7 when holding the dice. Now I can just flip it one time. I can just change it one time. Let me put the camera down over here just a bit. I want to find a 7. Right. So I can flip it and show you that this is a 7 and that's a 7, but that's a 3 and that's a 3. So now we got 6 and I flip it this way. We got 8, 6 and 8. 6 and 8 is the inverted house. The odds in the casino on the 6 and 8 are 7 to 6. You play 6 and you get 7 back. And if I show you a 5 and I show you a 1, if I flip this around, you're going to get 8. You're going to get 6 and 2, 8. The Queen of Mars. Or the card, or the bear. Oh, yes, we were working on the word with H in it, W and H. What? And W and H is actually saying, where are you? When I put A and T together, I end up with the at sign. Like, you know, when you write an email and they put the at sign. So when A and T come together, they're saying, where are you? W and H coming together. And it's total of 31. And when you total 31, for me, I always revert it back to man on the moon. Man, because at the age of 13, boy becomes man, and it's 13 years ending, meaning on the 170th moon, 170, 1 and 7. And then the 170, meaning that if it's 170, that means 190 degrees will bring me to my 360-degree circle. And 19, or AI, meaning I am inside the house of Beit, the Beit Eben, between 2 and 8. 1, 2, 9, 8. So you have the bookends of 1 and 9, and I'm inside. Now, there's two ways to look at these bookends. It can be 1 to 9 to 1. So there's a Beit heaven over here, and there's a Beit heaven over here, born into the house of Bet. There's so much going on. I said I was going to write something up or draw something. Yes, I was going to explain and show how the 8 heaven is because the 8 connects the two heavens of 66, leaving that the separation between the two is 6, equaling to what is 666. And its relationship is very much connected to the moon, male and female, king and queen, 432 vibration, and the invert to that vibration is 8, 7, and 6. Now you have to try and remember this, that 8, 7, and 6 in the deck of cards, and 2, 3, and 4 will equal to 10, 10, 10, equaling to the yellow M that we see on all the corners, 1000, because in Roman numerals, M is 1000, and in order to equate there equally, and in all ways, in every single way, to understand every single equation. Okay, so this is the way I do the gematria tree, right? Remember that 6 and 9 we did before? Now, don't forget, I am not the final word. I'm not the final word. It's all to be discussed. I'd love to make a program to enter all this information, and it's everything. I'm just going to stop with that and just take a 2-minute breather. Every sport, every professional sport, I like to go with North America. Okay, much easier. We can go to soccer, 90 minutes. The game is broken up at 45 minutes. We have 90 minutes, which is an hour and a half, representing Mars. We have 2 halves. We have how many divisions? And we call it the World Cup, WC, 23 and 3. So we're talking about an invert, W3 and 3, W World Cup, 23 equaling to 5, and C equaling to 3. There's a separation. The separation is at 4, because at 4, you are now into the mirror world. At 23 and 24, I know it gets confusing, the 23rd and 24th letter is an invert to C and D. When you count the alphabet, the invert alphabet to the first letter and the last letter, 1 and 26, equals to 27. So all through the alphabet, you're saying 27, 27, 27. And how many times do you say it? You say it 13 times. So 13 times 27. Calculator don't work. 13 times 27. 13 times 27 equals 351. And every time you say 27, the question is, are you saying 7 2s or are you saying 2 7s? And if you say 2 7s, you're talking about matter. If you have 2 7s, you could be multiplying it or adding it, and then you're going to get into another realm at the 7th gate. That's the house of Beit. 2 houses divided by the 7th gate in each, coming together. I'm going to just show you a quick picture. First, I'm going to show you one of the part how I believe you come together through this artwork. I think I passed over it twice. Oh, here it is. Okay. Hold on. Let me just take this away for a second. Yeah. So this, okay, this is one person on one side, one person on the other side. The V, okay, shows separation, okay, and coming together here, where the one moon, okay, that brings the two divided moons either apart or together, and retransmits it. And there's a time delay in that conscience. If you also look at the cap, the crown they're wearing, and you take a look at the deck of cards, the jacks and the kings are wearing the same crown. Now remember, the jacks and the queens also have eyes. There's the one-eyed jack, as you see in front of me, okay? That can be used either for the, I think it's whatever, the spade and the heart, or the diamond. No, the spade and the heart, I think it is, the one-eyed jack. So we can look at it this way, where the two eyes are coming from both sides, and the one eye is coming from one side. One is turned over to the left, the other is turned over to the right. So then there's the different multiple levels of this house between the two sides. And the DNA that crisscrosses is running through not only inside of you, but in every formation, even through your mind, your chakras, etc. So, and then there's the measuring tape that's included in this to understand how weights and measures are also implicated in this deal. So we're going to go a little bit lower, and then we're going to show you this piece over here. And this is the gematria. This is a singularity of gematria. I don't like the way I made this design. Okay, that's one singularity. And then here it is in recreated and multiple recreated. And we need to have at least the minimum of this many areas for transformation. And one of the reasons for that is until something is completely duplicated, as like in, hold on, as like in this design, perhaps. Duplication is, so what happens if you can follow the mouse? First of all, it's upside down, okay? But if you can follow the mouse, right, in these hexagons over here, the reason these colors are the way they are is here are all red numbers. And this is roulette, by the way. I took this off the roulette board, right? All this red, okay, are the red numbers in roulette. And here are the extremities of what the black numbers are. So here you can see it in one formation. So here you see the cube. So when I connect one of the numbers, we don't connect all the numbers. Remember the, let me see if I can take this off. Where did I get this from? When we see a star of 8, we're not using all of 8. There's one pole that goes all the way, and then you use 4 that's around it. You use 4 and 2, or 4 and 2. 4 and 2 from this side, or 4 and 2 for this side. When Venus either duplicated or in Mars separated, they crisscrossed each other. They also use it in the French language where they call accent aigu and grave. And the Hebrews use it when somebody dies. When somebody dies, they cut the tie on an angle for the 45-degree angle of the death that has been cut apart. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to get something to drink. I'm going to come back and finish off this design. If you have any questions, you want to put me down a path, because it doesn't matter. Every time there's a word, a mathematical equation, remember, every single number, you can say any number, tell me any number. Doesn't matter what it is. Once it's a word, it now has another dimension. And when you put that into context, going along with 3 and 4 periods in that phrase, sentence, or paragraph, and the reason it's 3, 4 periods is because every time you have a period, it's a period of time, and it runs by the cycle of the moon. The menstruation cycle, always the man, the menstruation cycle at 13, 12, and 13. And in the game of craps, they bar the 12, 66, because 66 has been recreated into I-80. The 8 heavens have now connected to what is 6 and 6. 8 times 8, 8 plus 8. At the gate, we recreate 8, but in 2 formations, connecting not the 6 here and the 6 here, but 1/2 of the 6 here, 1/2 of the 6 here, we created together through our 9 birth through the 7th gate. And when you think of that, think about it or back it up, that when you look at the telephone, there are 4 letters on the 7 and 4 letters on the 9. They removed a letter from each of them on the ATM, on the mat, right, on the ATM, and they put it on number 1. Think about that. Let me get something to drink. You know what? I had something to drink somewhere else. Where did my one second. I need a hat. My glasses are a little crooked. I put on a hat. I just feel I can keep the thoughts warm. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of realities that we don't see. What is 6 and 60, right? How does 6 compare to 8 when we go to designs? In fact, 6 and 8 are exactly almost alike. If you want to talk about this setup pyramid, if you look at 5184, they're actually talking about Pluto Mars, the marriage between the two. And when you see the phi sign that's in between, right? Also remember that you want to close something. You have a tap. You want to open it. The water's flowing this way, right? You want to close it. You want to close it. You want to open it. You want to close it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I opened it and closed it twice. So I just need 1/4 turn to open and close the area to stop the water from flowing. Or running it, right, at 33 degrees. So why 33? In fact, I have to go back to look at that, what we talked about. I want to see, should it be 33? Because in between 45, oh, right. Okay, good. In between 45, okay, and 67 and 90. Okay, I remember that answer now. Okay, 6675. Okay, got that answer. Plus, just 1 second. Okay, so now what it is over here, we're at the 7th gate. Here, in this one over here, we're going to put a light 5, 3, and 1. 1, 3, 5, and 7. And then I'm going to move it over here. And then we're going to work it back up again. Now I'm working this for gematria. I don't do it for the regular alphabet. Did I get that right? And then we work it back down again. So we have 1, 1, 3, 5, 7. So if we're talking about 11, 11, my big question is, right? And remember, we can't only work with one alphabet because our 10-4 communication in CB codes, which is also could be the word MAR or RAM. So what month is the month of RAM where communication comes together? 52 Earth times 52 Earth to the 26 alphabet to the 13 of man in the moon. 4 by 13 equals to the 52 inside the deck of cards. And when you add up 1 to 13, it equals to 91, which is 7 by 13. 1 and 3 equals to 4. 7 and 4 equals to Jesus, energy, and time. 91 also equals to the word spirit, which also can be understood as pirate. Pirate, or how the heavens have been pirated. And when you put the AT together, you're actually looking at AT for how they pirated ET. And this also can be numerated as 52, which is how they numerated Earth, the gateway. Here, we're going to have T minus counting. And over here, we're going to have G. And then over here, we're going to have T. 20, 20 in 7. 20, 7, 20. This is the position in our regular alphabet that we run right now. So now, where's my dice cube? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go 4 and 3. So right here we have 7. So where's 5? We're going to get 5 as 2. And we have to flip this dice over right now, and 3, and we get 5. So if we get 5, we have to have 9. So where can we put 9? We're going to put 9 right over here. We're going to put 9 right over here. So where are we going to put 8? Where are we going to put 8? We're going to put 8 right over here. That's where number 8 goes, right over here. That's 8. It even looks like an 8. So 8 connected, both 7 and 9. 7 and 9 are connected through 8. Let's call it the elephant. Tav. The Hebrew letter, the 8th letter in Hebrew, it's called Tav, right? And those are the letters that go over here are T, U, V. And over here in the 9th position are X, U, V, it's W, X, Y, Z. And over here it's P, Q, R, S. They removed the Q, they removed the Z, they removed the 17th letter, they removed the 26th letter, they removed 1 and 7, 8, they removed 2 and 6 is 8, they removed 88, they removed the heaven's gate. 26 and 17, total 43, they removed the heaven's gate of direct current, and they installed alternate current through what they say is 13 or 31 or 11 times 11 times 11 equals to 1331. So the mass of Jesus has been replaced or has been added on to replace it. And they put this on the number 1 on the ATM. So where is number 6? Number 6 goes right over here. Windows and windows. So if number 6 goes over here, we're going to take a look at number 6 and 2 equaling to 8. 2 and 6 equaling to 8. At the same time, we have a 7 void and a 3 void. So 3 and 7 comes together. We have 8 and we have 10 to what we have 9 and 9 to what makes up this scenario equals to 18. Do you follow me? So now if you take a look at this, it becomes 1 and 8. So now the spirit is inside the heaven through the gateway of 66. 5 and 1, 6 to what is 5 and 3, 8 to what is 2 and 4, 6. And 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 8 and 6, dividing of the 7th gate in the spirit of 76. The odds on this is you place 6 and you get back 7 plus 6 equaling to 13. And that 13 is man, and man is in the moon. So we have to understand more about the initials of what man is. In 1967, they called that the War in the Name of Man. And then shortly after, it was Man on the Moon. So somehow they inverted some kind of energy through the sun and the moon. And the reason for that is because the word the equals to 33, and the word gate equals to 33, and the word gate with 8t and a and t equaling to 21 a cube is used at this sign. And when you want to send an email, you use that. And now you're going to use G and E, and that's a reflective of the moon. G meaning the male. or the male, and E can be the energy. Yes, and this is the moon, General Electric, because that's the same numeric value for the moon. It's a direct current. Where are we with this? The word on is number 29, and it's also the numeric value or numeric value to the letters that will finite the value in pi, 3.1415922965, the beginning of pi. So now we get 6 and 8 over here. We have the divided gate. That divided gate is divided by the cat. The reason I say cat is because CAT equals to 24. It also is number value 1, 2, 3 cat. C3, A1, T2 in a single digit count in the alphabet, 21 and 3. 31 is the cube in the house of bait. You can use it in all directions. So now we understand how 8 will connect 6 and 6, and now we have 888 or 888. I can't be here and here. So it's here with this window, or it's here with this. It's 3 out of 4. Why do I say 4 is a mirror? I go A, B, C. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. 6 plus D4 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. That's why I say it mirrors. But in roulette, right, 10 is a dark number or black. See the arc number? But the 19 is red. But the 37, there is none, but it would be red because the 28 is black. So they're showing me two odd numbers, but it's black. Sorry, two even numbers. It is black, creating an odd. Here it's showing me two odd numbers staying red, two odd numbers staying red, and boom, an odd number in its own staying black. So they're showing you that the original one, which is odd, is both red and black and red and black. So we have to note that the red pill and the blue pill, because of expressions, is because black and blue. They're always reverting to black and blue. Remember, the vessel can be a ship, right? In transport. And that's why the male comes over here at this one, T minus counting. So if we go to this now, when I continue this piece of work, right? I just want to just do this, and I'm going to get back to the comments. When I continue that piece of work, we end up with this over here, and we apparently living between house A and house B, and then the one house that lives between the two. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but to note that if we're in this area over here of the split, or you see this split over here, and then the one line coming down here, right, equaling to that, what was I talking about, 33 degrees. So I'm going to bring it back to this over here. Remember I spoke at the beginning, let me see. Oh yes, how we were divided over here between 225, 216, and 234. I forget where I got this from. I know where it is. It's exactly here. 1 second. The splitting up over here between this angle 225 to what is above 234 to what is below 216, right? Which is 36 away from 180, and this is 30. Is it 36 away? 36. Hold on a second. 225 and 90 degrees. 36 degrees, 18 degrees, and 36 degrees. 999, and that is 70. Yeah, and that equals to 90. Okay. 18 and 9, 18 and 9, 8 and 9, 27, 17, 27, 8, 9, 8. Okay. The house, inside the house is the gate of our high birth. Here is because the 225 degrees and the 135 degrees brings us to 360 degrees. Minus, plus is that separation, 99. Life of ape. 134, here are the letters, but here are also the letters, which tells me the ace up or the sun up, and the house is split inside the sun, equaling to a possible perception and understanding why the moon is so bright at night. It never goes away. So this angle, the numbers we were using before over here, these three numbers, where I get 234, and yes, the center number is 675. Here's the center number is 675. I'm just trying to, I don't like this, too messy. Too messy. I can't read it. Let me just, I'm trying to keep everybody entertained. I don't want anybody to go away, you know, so I overdo it a little bit. So here is the 225 angle. And remember, for area space, right? Area space, right? For this area space, I need to do this for that area space. So that block is the humble of time, you know, where the arms move. And now I have to switch this whole camera on this angle, because this has to be even, equal to all, shared between all. So it's one area here and then one area here. I like to call this one the Earth and Mercury. And this one I want to call Mars, Venus. I call it Mars, Venus because Venus gets this, and this is one, and this is two. So I put that with Earth, 3 by 3, and I put this with Venus, 2 by 2. 2 by 2, by the way, is the word ape. It's also the word go, which is 5 times 3, 5 plus 3. And this is when you power up the energy, 15 and 8. Ho, ho, ho. We go with the soul, with the sock, with Santa Claus, equaling to 23. The word in, 31 equals to 54. In the sun, only 2 letters. Anything to do with 2 letters is always going to add up to 54, the reverse alphabet. And this cube has 54 area spaces. Only to note that I don't make that up, and it comes from wherever Rubik's Cube disappeared to. I don't know where my Rubik's Cube is. So, yeah, so we have this. So what this is 67.5 degrees equals to the 90 degrees. Then we have section number 2, 216, which goes to the moon, and 684 equals to 90 degrees. And then we have 234, the Hertz vibration, right? And 666 equals to 90 degrees. So they all equal to 90 degrees. One with our birth, which is also noted to be the 9 months of birth. But if we count it as every single day, it's 9 by 24. And that will equal to 216, which is also part of what 666 is. When you multiply it, it's 216. When you add it, it equals to 18. And the total is 234. And that is our birth. And through our birth, through 666, 1 and 5, 6, 2 and 4, 6, 3 and 3, 6. I had 2 ideas in my head. I'm just trying to understand. 1 and 5. Oh, yes, is that the 15th letter is O, the 24th letter, okay, is X. And we give, when you like somebody and you want to send hugs and kisses, you do that. So that's your 666. And this will end up to be what is the invert And then there's math to go along with it. 5 and 6, 12 and 8, 8 and 6, 15 and 8, 9 and 6, 16 and 8. This one is going to be pi, phi, division of the house of DC. It's also going to be blue, red, hot, cold, boy, girl, demo, repo, Demas and Phobos. The boy is blue, the girl is red hot. Cold is number 34 and hot is number 43. When you bring them together, the cold and the hot are the colors. You end up with purple, 88. So in the house of Venus, which is square, you end up in the constellation of NGC 7286, which is Pegasus. If you want to go look, Pega who? Jesus. And all my information can be found because I found all my information online, only through counting. Now, if you go through 684, you can also be looking at the seconds in a day, which is 8640. You can also be looking at the sun diameter, which is 86.4 blank, blank, blank. Continue on. So where else am I? Did we do the sun bit? Did we do the sun bit? Yes, I did it on there. The S, the U, and the N is the 19th, the 21st, and the 14th letter. Through AI comes the cycle. S is what brings on the cycle. See, if we see two numbers, what can we get in between? Only thing I can get in between here is a 5. I can get 2 and 3 in between here. So they're all telling me different stories. And then the math that goes along with it. 1 and 9, 2 and 1, 1 and 4. The invert is 8. The 8, 6, 4. That is if we're playing inside the house. Tet, 9. Or are we going to go to Yod 10 and play the complete house where we combinate everything? 10 is combinating numbers. And if we go through the complete house, we end up with 975. And this will tell me birth at the gateway inside the moon, the male and the female, the king and the queen in the E world. Where do I get all this from? 9 months of birth. Mathematics of 13, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 brings me to 7. 13 is man. 13th card in the deck of cards is the king. 12, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 5. 12 is the bats mitzvah for the bats lady for the C19 that everybody's been running from, because C19 is a reflection from the clover moon, the golden clover moon. It's the gold club. Gold is number 38. This finger plug-in is number 38, the 3rd and 8th finger. 57 is also like 75, the numeric value for the moon. 19 is created from 13 mathematically, that the alternate current to the direct current will create 3 and 4, which will create 12 and 7, equaling to what is 19. Now C19, which is 3 times 19, equaling to 57, only because 3 times any number will bring full formation. Also noting that 147 times 3 will equal to 333. 7 months of 31 days, 7 by 13 is 91, the spirit. 4 months of 30 days, and then 1 month of 28, which is also actually 7 by 28 plus 3, 4 by 28 plus 2, and 1 by 28 0.1 point that it happens. So this is going to happen in a cycle of 3, and then in the next cycle, it's going to change. So this is going to be 4, 3, 1. So instead of multiplying that, I'm now going to put 7, 4, 7, 3. I'm just going to take a look, and 1, 1. February gets this. It's going to end up to be 210, 2, 1, 0, or let's look at this, which is our birth, 9 by 24. We have to understand how the numbers come back. The 21 blackjack on the cube, we're now connecting it to the moon. And when you add up 1 to 5, it equals to 15. When you add up 2 to 6, it equals to 20. When you add up 1 to 15, it equals to 120. When you add up 1 to 20, it equals to 210. This would be the game of pool. This would be the game of darts. The 2 is going to reflect what is around the cube. And we're going to look at it as 2/3. The 1 is going to be north and south. It's going to be the pole. And it's going to be 1/3. 1/3 and 2/3. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4, equaling to 16, equaling to 0.8, the 24 hours a day, the division between night and day. And when I divide night and day, I like to do this. If I'm awake during the day, I'm awake standing. And if I'm sleeping at night, I'm sleeping at night. So where 8 and 9 comes in, the difference between night and day, what's going on inside our heads. Dart and pool, we did this little piece. I'm just skeletonizing just about everything that we're doing. I'm going to come out and look at the questions and see if I can wrap my head around myself just a little bit. There's just so many things going on. And when I do that, I see inside my head such beautiful pictures. Okay, let me just catch up with John. I just want to see it. Let me go back to the beginning. Should you move? You never have to go anywhere other than how you feel and what you're going to do. I don't know if it's 2:43. It's like 40 minutes later, so I don't know if RJ Station is still here. I'm not sure of what the question really is. Did I miss anything in that? Okay. You know what? For me, the only thing I'd like to do is, I don't know, maybe because I've been here for 20 years in this place, and I just feel like going to some secluded island somewhere with all like-minded people, grow our own vegetables, and try and bring this world back together through the energies of our knowledge. I believe that, and it's only a belief, it's only because of what these numbers have told me that I believe more and more of its reality. Just 1 second. I want to finish off with this, that where's that primary number? With this 675 and this 225 division over here, right? This is telling me division of 76, and this is telling me about the moon. Somehow there's been a division in the moon. I don't know exactly how it works. The moon and the sun is very, very prominent in all of this. If I minus this, it becomes 45. If I minus this one, it becomes, I'm trying to think of 68, 90. Okay, if I minus this one, it becomes 46.8. 46.8 becomes the same thing. So I'm back into the sun. If I minus this one, it becomes 43.2. So I remain inside the vibration, inside the sun, but this one changes to 45, and I become inside the sun again. I become inside the sun. The sun and the moon keep coming back. X and O. What is X and O? X and O. I mean, if I would draw one of these, I don't have any O. But the minute I draw 2 of them, I get an automatic free O in the center. Okay, let me read JQ. My camera's X is 2 V's, one inverted on top of the other. Yes, it could be, depending on how you want to look at the shape of that letter. Should we run the letter on that angle? You see, I'm used to the builder's code, which tells me I have to run this. So if I turn it right? I end up with this and this for my V. Now, the V also, like in one of my questions, over here is, let's take each one of these as a cell, right? So if I took each one of these as a cell, I'm going to do it this way, right? And by doing this, I'm going to get my first one over here. So I'm only splitting a cell. The first time that I get a complete cell is over here, is once I put it on the outside. We need to have the greatest distance. And then I'm going to create the second part. One side and then the other side, right? And then when we do that, we now have this separation over here. It's one side, the other side, and now we have what this formation is over here. Now, if I cut this short here, I have what fits to a hexagon, what fits to a pentagram, and what fits to an octagon. This is only one side. It could also be used as the cap for the jack, the queen, or the king. And then we put them together as the crown. So now we can start creating our stars and understanding where we are going to begin, because this is inside the house, and this is the only way we can break it up. We can break each one of these up inside of 4. So now my question comes to Mars. Which way do we go with Mars windows? Okay, so I'm not going to get into my video with hockey and the Eastern and the divisions, etc. I'm not going to get into that right now. Where else was I? I was talking gold. Where did I get gold? The numeric value for gold is 38. And it's ironic that in French it's 33 and it sticks to Jesus, where O and R come together. And when it comes together with Jesus, with number 33, right? I like to say Jesus, and the math is 69, which creates the 15 and 54. Again, 69. This creates the IT system, 4 by 5, 20, and 9. Where was I? I think I'm getting a little tired here. I'm not keeping up to myself now. Did we speak about everything with purple? Why Pegasus? Pegasus is number 7286. X's and O's will say the word fox. When you say the word fox, you're going to say the word 39 and 6 equals to 45. You're going to also say HQZ. If you want to say headquarters, you have to go 17 and 8 equals to 25, plus 26 equals to 51. 26, 17, 0, 8. 6, 7 is 13, and 8 is 21, and 3 are 33 headquarters. 2 and 1 is 3, and 2 is 21. 1 is over here, and 2 is carried, is 51. So now we end up with Mars, and inside of Mars is 2, 3, 4, standing in between 5 and 1, which is standing between V and 1. Mars, Roman numerals. Also the 22nd and 9th letter, again, back to number 31, the alternate current. Headquarters. That's what it looks like. 51 is Mars, backs to where Fox. Fox is the passage. Passage to the sky, 39. Now 39 and 71 complete your 10, 10, 7 and 3, 1 and 9, also equaling to the AI in man, the gateway, and the birth. So we use 39. I didn't use it all because this is the base letter, the single letter. Now I asked myself the single letter. Does the single letter go here and the 2 letters go here, the other 2? Can I do it that way? I don't know if we can do it that way, but that's one of the ways I can consider it. That when I'm counting 1 over to 9, it tells me 1 story. And then I count from 10 over to 12, tells me 2 stories. From 3 over to 16 tells me another story.
from 17 over to 19 tells me, 17 and 18 tells me another story. 19, 20, and 21 each tell me individual stories. I'm going to get with you in a minute and explain that. But let me go back to this. I wrote down 6, 7, and 8 somewhere. Where did I write down the 6, 7, and 8? Okay, I wrote it down here. When you get the 6, 7, and 8, it's that the king has 7 eyes. The queen has 8 eyes. The jack has 6 eyes. When you go to the deck of cards, the 6, 7, and 8 are all the same, except the difference is there's 0 moons center, there's 2 moons center, and there's 1 moon center. Again, 201, 120, whichever way you want to look at it. It's back to the same thing. And what's missing to bring it to the 7th, to bring it to the 1 spirit center? 8, 7, and 6 with 2, 3, and 4, back to the vibration. 8, 7, and 6 with 5, 6, 7, and 8, 7, and 6 with 8, 0, 1. We can also use 1, 9, 1. We can also use 1, 0, 1. All these are plausible, okay, and they come within the birth. The reason for that is 2 and 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 8 and 5 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. And the cycles we run is 7 months, 4 months, and 1 month. 74, 47, energy and Jesus Christ. 77, 44 for area space. 11 is the student, the Christ, the cube that is all 18, 18, 18, the sun cube. 11, 11, 11, 7, 7, 7. For 364 days, for 13 moons of man, the word man, and at the age of 13. So that's how this comes together. And what it is we're trying to look with this one here for number 7. So 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. 0 and 7 is 7, 1 and 6 is 7. 8 minus 1 is 7, 9 and 7 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. So that's why they all fit to this realm over here. And each one is going to tell a different story. Okay, I'm going to read the rest of the comments. And oh my God, I'm late. I got to go. I'm going to check the rest of the comments. I'm really sorry. I got to go. I can't believe I'm late. I got to go. Wow, I can't believe it passed that quick. Ciao, send me a message. Send me anything. Find my email. If you want to help me, I'll be really great so I can spend more time here. Ciao. Wow.